All right, howdy, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the Book of Faces and interwebs and everywhere else. Midnight Run Creations back at you in the shop and stuff, working on the stunt truck or the two-tone truck. Just getting everything kind of all situated and stuff with it. So just do a quick touch base onto it. Biggest thing is got the Lokar shifter all in and stuff. So it is mounted at the top of the transmission. Got the linkage cable all in on that one, so it cycles through really nicely. These are really, really slick and really cool. I love them. They're awesome. They're solid. They're beautiful. They're well built. The instructions are really great on them and stuff. They're really super versatile too, because you can get this handle in I think like at least 4 different lengths. 4 or 5 different lengths, and then there's another like 4 to 8 different styles of the arm itself. This is like the double curve one, but they have the ones that just kind of go up and then jot back in all the different lengths. They have the ones that kind of jump up like this, and then I think they have another one that has it's got like an extreme curve to it in case you're doing something really wild, or you have a seat or whatever that's in the way and stuff onto it. But it's really super cool because you got all kinds of versatility and stuff. Like I said, different lengths of the shifter, the arm itself, different bends and stuff to it. Obviously, if you really needed to, you could kind of heat and bend your own and stuff too. But multiple positions. There is, you can go all along that top plate there. There is some kind of special mounting that's bracket system that's required if you have to mount clear up here to the front of them. Then there's an additional part that you have to get, but again, that's in the instructions as well too. But yeah, it straddles the transmission really nicely. It has those set screws on either side of the brackets that screw in that hold it. As you can see, it's nice and solid. This is bolted down. You have, of course, this little bit of movement, but that's because you've got leverage, clear up here that you're shaking and stuff onto it. But it hooks up really nicely. I did this one kind of like this with the bracket. This adjustable all thread here has these eyelets that can go on both sides that can bolt over here, and then you can do this. You can also do, there's one of the kits comes with this new arm in here. Now to change that, so in different years there's different ones and it says it in there. Some of these, there's a bolt that runs through this, so you've got the nut on the front of this. You just undo that and you can add their arm in. This particular style and year, this actually is on the inside. So in order to change this out to their lever with the multi-position arm and stuff onto it, the transmission actually has to be pulled, has to be flipped over, or drained and flipped over. The pan has to be opened up, the filter, everything has to come off it, and you have to get inside of here, pull off the plates and stuff like that, and actually change this rod out, which one they give you. And so it's fine if you've got something you're tearing apart, but with this, there's no reason to rip this all apart. So with this one, we're just reusing the arm onto it. It has to select it. I did some slight modifying on the arm and on that that rod as well too. But as you can see, cycles through no problem. I'm just doing this one-handed with just two. So there's neutral, locks you into neutral. There's reverse, and then there's park onto it. So park, reverse, neutral, locks you in. Now we're into drive and stuff onto it. But yeah, so it drives all the way down onto it. So it's beautiful. I really truly love it. It locks you into park, has the neutral safety switch on the side of it and stuff. I guess the only complaint I have about this is it's not as solid in each selector. So like reverse, kind of have to like feel it in the end of it. See, there's park really has a click to it, but reverse, neutral locks in, but the rest, it's, I don't know, it's kind of hard. You kind of have to feel, because you can feel this, hard to say through video, but you can feel the selector down there going through each thing. So you just kind of have to feel where it's at. But yeah, each one really doesn't have its own, unless, like I said, there's drive there. But if you want to go down into, first, you definitely have to push it, and then boom, you're there. So it's kind of, drive is right there with it. But it just, that's the only thing I'm disappointed in, is that they don't all have a real nice click, click, click to them and stuff, kind of like the B&Ms and stuff like that. So that's the only thing that I don't really like about it, but otherwise it's beautiful. Mounts to the top, comes up through. I think actually I'm going to use this setup on the Dodge, the 50 Dodge too with it, because I can come up out of the top onto the 4L65E. It's the same one as 60E, so I'll be able to come up out of the top and I can adjust that to where I want it. I can get the arm that I want and stuff on it, so it'll be really cool. This is a bit long. This is what the customer got, but it's a little bit longer than what I would like. Nice thing is this can all be changed. You can actually do it too. I forgot, where instead of going forward and backwards, you can actually go side to side on it. They have an adapter that goes onto here that makes it so you're clicking your gears, cycling through everything like side to side on it. So that's kind of cool. If you don't have the room, I guess, to go this way, then you can go blep, 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 and blep, blep, blep back. Or if you just want to be able to go like that and knock it instead of having to cycle through and stuff onto it. So I did have to pull the cab off and check everything and stuff on it. This is actually fairly easy to do with the cab in place, just going through. Obviously, if you have this style with the removable center to it, you pull that out and you've got all that room, so you can actually get to it pretty easy. If you weren't able to pull the cab and stuff off of it, you can get to everything. But for me, it's like everything pulled, so why not? We'll use it that way. So but yeah, and as you can see, so side to side, you can kind of see what we're doing on the brake system on this one. So this is the truck. I'll use my foot to point. That's the truck power brake bracket. That's the truck booster, and then it's the Crown Vic master cylinder, obviously. So it all fits together really nicely and plugs in. So pretty cool little deal there on it. But yeah, so that's done, and we'll get that popped on. Let's see. While we're over here, one of the cool things on this one is the AC. So we're using the Crown Vic AC system on this one, on the stunt truck, and I was actually able to get the firewall modified so that the firewall, I don't know, firewall side of the system, as you can see, there we go, it's going to be all one piece. So this is what comes on the Crown Vic. I don't know why in Ford's stupid ass infinite wisdom they did this little notch in. They could have just made the whole thing flat, and that would have made this a whole lot easier, but no, they had to put this little stupid step right here, so that's what you have to do. So I kind of used the part of the firewall from the Crown Vic as a template for it. I know some people, they'll actually graft that into the firewall of the truck, which I guess you can do if you want to. It's just an odd shape and stuff, and you're coming out in weird angles and everything, so I just decided I would take the whole firewall. Recent out. One of these, I think, were the next one. I might just actually take it from here and come out and just have this be all over. Again, it'd be nice if this was like freaking level right here, but they made this stupid little step part, so you have to have that. Otherwise, you can just come out with this whole piece of the firewall. Like a lot of the custom shops do, Can Dig It and all those kind of places, they basically do away with this whole firewall and stuff, kind of like what I did on the Dodge. And I really understand why shops do that now. This is way nicer to deal with, where you're basically starting from scratch onto it, and you don't have to work with the stupid contours of the whatever truck or vehicle you're working with. This can be done to whatever way you want to work with onto it. In fact, I probably should have just done the whole firewall instead of cutting out the center and doing it. I should have just done this whole thing all custom and stuff onto it, because like there's holes and stuff over here that I'm gonna have to fill in and do stuff with, but whatever, it is what it is. And it ends up getting cut out anyway as you do stuff. So if you've done all custom metal, then it's a lot easier to do repairs and fix it. Trying to figure out the steering on this one, it sucks. I was hoping to use the S10 column, but it's too long. It puts my steering way out here. So we have an aftermarket column coming that's actually 28 inches. The S10 column is 32 inches. So anyway, that's not what I was talking about. We have this. So yeah, like I said, doing this will allow the firewall side of the AC system to just stay in one piece. The lines will all just go bloop right here. What's really cool is, as you can see, this does step out quite a bit. I decided to angle that just because it was easier for getting everything put back in, but you could actually come straight out and come across, no big deal, onto it. But yeah, it comes out. The cool thing is there is plenty of room, even with this sitting out the way it is. Right here, it does, by the time we get the airbox in, this puts it really close to the passenger side valve cover and stuff onto it, but no more close than it is from the Crown Vic. So that's what I've seen for videos and stuff. You have to pull this off to get to the valve cover in the crown deck anyway with it. So it'll be all able to be bolted in and out and stuff like that. So it'll be easy to servicing and stuff like that too with it as well. So we'll be able to do the firewall. But yeah, so it'll be one piece there. And then what's cool is because this kicks out, that's hard to see. Can't open the door because I got it strapped. So we'll go like this. Oop, fingers in the way. Learning camera. So as you can see, that's all one piece in there. It's hard to see from this. Well, you can kind of see that ledge down on the left-hand side there with it. That steps way in now compared to what it did before. So where before we had to mutilate the under the dash section of the crown deck AC, literally had to mutilate it just for it to fit, because this dash kicks back in the bottom and stuff with it, and the firewall set back up. So with all of this, it's recessed back in, so there won't be nearly as much cutting onto the cabin side of the airbox, and it'll be able to extend over to that side as well too, which allows room up top for some of the lighting control module, some of the other stuff that has to go inside of here with it. So it'll be really nice to do that. So I'm excited to get that part and mess with that instead of having to chop it down. I mean, literally, so yeah, there's the one sitting there. So you can see the difference in the size. I mean, that's the one that the design that I normally use, where, I mean, it literally is just hacked and chopped. And the same with this over here. I would have to attach this, cut a hole, cut this whole blower section off of the box, and then fabricate something to make it come in. Put the blower would actually go on this side, blowing through or blowing sideways, and then it stuck out underneath the dash and stuff, and had to be modified. And then you had all this stuff I had to cobble together and seal. The thing was, all of it, by the time I was done, it worked great. But by the time I was done, there was no way this was going to be able to just, we can unbolt and come off and stuff, where this is going to use all the factory bolting spots on the inside and the outside and stuff on it. So it'll be able to be fastened up really nicely and be able to be pulled off in case of servicing or replacement or whatever you want to do and stuff with it. So really, really nice. Same with the steering too. And then same with this too, with the bulkhead connectors for coming through the main harness. Just cut out the ones from the crown deck firewall and welded them into here. So there's our spots, and still got our holes for running the factory truck wiring that'll be running through, as well as some of the extra wiring and stuff on it as well. So yeah, it'll look really, really cool. So, and it won't have so much stuff sticking underneath the dash on it too, because it sticks up. And in plenty of room. The nice thing too is, because this sets outward, then it doesn't put, let's see, we'll walk over here. It puts a lot less stress on all of these lines, and makes you don't have to redo them as well too, because this will actually sit, right here where it needs to. Actually, it'll push it back a little bit slightly, but yeah, basically it'll sit kind of like that right on the firewall and stuff with it. So really nicely. So relation, this stuff doesn't all have to be pulled off and whatnot to do. And this has all been moved forward as well, because again, with my front cab mounts that I've come up with, my plates, instead of using this center hole in here to mount your cab to, which a lot of guys do, my plate set it back so it brings the whole cab backwards, and like I said before, it puts this front tire center in the wheel well and stuff. But as I said, as a downside, it means that all of this jabber stuff here needs to go forward, but not so much that it's not serviceable as well too. I mean, you can go forward as far as you want to, but you're going to start slamming into this guard here and all that kind of stuff, which you can take that, but then you're shoving things forward. The accumulator and all that kind of stuff still has to mount in here if you're reusing the crown deck AC stuff with it. But yeah, so you can see it's still serviceable, so belts can still be changed, all that. You pull this off, and I mean, the shroud and this stuff and everything can be pulled off really easily to get into any of this stuff that you need to get into with it. So but it does require either making a radiator support, of course, radiator support for that to sit on, or like I do is I cut down the existing one and bring it up to where I want it, so that it's not, you have to watch, like I said in another video, of this going too high, because then you can break that neck. Too low, and now you're blocking airflow and stuff with it. But yeah, so that, and then there's our mounting points for the front clip for the core support and stuff on it. So chopped off right there. But yeah, so that's what we got going on. So gonna put the rear cab mount into place. That's my version 1 rear cab mounts. So we're gonna put that into place, get it all tacked in. It goes about even with the little hole just to the right hand side of the little hole that's right there. Little hole. But yeah, so it'll get coffee put there. I weld mine in, so I'm working on making my new ones to where they can be welded in or they can be bolt in onto it. But yeah, so that's what we got going on with that. And then get that welded on in place, and then the cab can be set on. I think I'm hoping and praying for the last time. I don't know. We'll see. I said that last time too, but that's the beautiful thing about having all of this and this all set up is it's no problem to yank a cab off and stuff. So it's kind of feels frustrating though when I literally just had, in fact, I sent the owner, the customer, the pictures of the cab, the front clip all on and stuff like that. It's like, look, it's starting to look like a truck and stuff. And then it's like, oh, we got to rip things apart. But that is all part of the process and stuff with it. So, yep, can do the same thing on a lot of the other ones too. So we're cranking away here. Lots of stuff to do on this yucky rainy day here in eastern Washington State. I think the west side has blown their weather over to us. They suck. They can keep their yucky weather and stuff. So, but yeah, so that's what we'll do. We'll get this cab set on so I can double check where that sits and then start working on the AC system, getting it bolted together and stuff. So, yay. Thanks, guys. Bye.